Hello, Eben, and well, here we are again. Familiar surroundings.
Here we are again, Brett. Familiar surroundings. 17 drivers in. Of course, this is a combined lobby of Tier 2 and Tier 1 drivers. And Brett, looking forward to this one. So remember, Brett, we got a strange format that we will basically force on tonight. So the top Tier 1 drivers that gets maybe P1, 2, 3, obviously they will get top points. But let's say a Tier 2 driver gets P4, then he will promote to first place for Tier 2 drivers, and that means maximum points for him. So a bit strange tonight, but Brett, it's the best we can do under the circumstances of load shedding. And off we go as we are under qualifying. Half an hour separates us from lights out and the sprint.
Yes, and we have a few drivers on their outlaps at the moment. Obviously, well, to anybody that is unfamiliar with the concept, normally I'm watching the game through Eben, but now I have the game myself, so I can also be a spectator and look at a different perspective. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens tonight.
And well, Brett, big ups for Louisa for getting you that game. What a lovely girlfriend and fiancé she is. So from me in South Africa on the SAF1 Racing League, Louisa, you are a legend.
Thank you, Louisa, for getting me the game. You've had a shout out now on the channel.
Right. So, fun fact, JD has a penalty. How so? What did JD do?
He has it from Zandvoort, apparently.
Oh, yeah, that's correct. He has a penalty from Zandvoort. That is correct, Lassie. Okay, Brett, so as we now spectate, who will we be spectating? Who is on a flyer? That will be none other than, I think it is...
I'm currently on board with the Dark Fox on an outlap.
All right, just trying to see who is busy on a hot lap. It'll be the Toy at the moment, Brett. I think his teammate in front of him is Van Vieren. No, he isn't. So it will be the Toy, Brett, currently on his first hot lap. And let's see what kind of pace he can produce.
And we also do have a name I'm familiar with. Kid K is also on a hot lap. So I will spectate Kid K, see what they can bring to the table tonight.
Right, Brett, so the Toy currently running in the 1 minute. Dankie, lief. Sal jy my... Oh, shit, rarig. Net my energy drink bring. Dankie. I forgot to mute my mic, didn't I?
Yes, you did. It's all right. I have no idea what you said.
Apparently, I forgot. I closed the door and I forgot our cat outside, so I was in a bit of trouble now, Brett. But back we go to the Toy as he puts a 128.5 on the board, and he will be followed by who's next, Brett?
I'm watching Kid K. Kid K is currently on their flying lap, I
believe. Brett, JD making his way onto the main straight, Brett, and he puts a 127.8. So getting from it's JD on provisional pole at this moment. Right, we will be spectating Kid K, Brett. I'm spectating with you.
Very nice.
Of course, it's a new driver, Brett, so let's see what he will be able to do. So far, well, only running in P3, but expect to see him out on track again, trying to improve that time.
Yeah, and something that we are familiar with in the F2 concept is drivers running the wet tyres.
Drivers running the wet tyres once again, Brett. Yeah, this is not unfamiliar for us. The likes like MGST, True Loki, Lassie, Halley, as well as Humid on those wet tyres. And let's see what times they will be able to produce, as Humid takes a 132.5, and not too far from him is the Dark Fox, a 132.7. And that's on wet tyres, Brett, so that's not a bad lap at all on those wets.
Yeah, I'm currently on board with Van Vieren, coming around now the last few corners, see what time he can set.
2 seconds, Brett, as I'm trying to spectate. This was Mr. M, Brett. Good enough for P3. Do we have Kid K going around again? I think this is the Dark Fox. No, not John Hannes. Sorry, Brett, I'm all over the place at the moment. As JD puts another fastest lap on the board, a 127.5. He extends his lead out in front. He will be followed by Was it EtzzzBrett? No, it's not Hughes. These safety cars, Brett, are so confusing. Right, so as we now spectate MGST making his way, and remember, Brett, he is currently in the battle for your championship leader with True Loki. So it'll be interesting to see who will cross the finish line first between the two of them, and maybe, just extend that gap for your potential championship winner.
Well, yeah, and we still have about 22 minutes remaining, so there's still plenty of time for these drivers to set some time. So I'm going to try and hop on board with somebody that is on their out lap. Let's have a look who's around.
Spectating Humid, he is in validation. I will be jumping to Kratos, Brett, only on an out lap. Next will be Mr. M. He's slowing down, Brett.
Oh, and we have Lars in the chat saying Kid K is my tier 2 teammate. So, well, thank you for letting us know that, Lars. I appreciate it. And please, I think that's talking in, I don't know what you're saying, to be honest.
Last year running very wide indeed there, Brett. And of course, Brett qualifying always a little bit slow. But expect things to heat up once the race starts.
Yeah, that's always true. Always a bit of a slow burner this qualifying session. But when the race comes around, it definitely heats up.
Well, Brett, I definitely enjoy it because it is the calm before the storm. As we now spectate Halley, Brett, currently running into the third sector. Around these very tight right-handers, he will go in a bit, takes a very sharp left, will have to take a very sharp right about now. No, he takes an even sharper right into the pits. He will be followed by, at John Hannes, I believe, in validation on an outlap. Who's next, Brett?
Yeah, we are going on board with, I was about to say Kratos. I'm on board with Kratos at the moment.
I'll be joining you, Brett, as he will be the next one to cross the line for a hot lap. But already running into the 1 minute, and this is a very, very slow lap, Brett, so maybe just acquainting himself with the track, and he will definitely go out for a new flyer after this red lap. He will be followed...
What?
Go ahead, Brett.
Carry on.
Go ahead, Brett.
Oh, sorry then. I'll carry on. But yeah, we've had 8 minutes of qualifying so far, and we still have about 7 drivers that have not set a time yet, so it is a very slow burner tonight in Hungary.
I believe, no, Hector is not on a flyer. John Hannes will be on a flyer. So next to cross the finish line, Brett, well, not now, obviously, but to set a time on the board will be John Hannes. And what kind of times can he put up with those wet tires?
And I'm currently on board with the toy. The toy's on a new hot lap, I believe, currently sitting in second, so can he improve? We will find out.
Oh, the toy almost invalidates his lap, Brett. Sorry, not the toy, John Hannes. We have yellow flags down into Sector 3, Brett, but that'll only be a car going very slowly, just to allow John Hannes to get through. So I'm very intrigued to see what kind of times John Hannes will be able to produce on these wet tyres.
Well, yeah, a name that most people are familiar. I mean, to be honest, most of these names are sort of familiar with the South African Racing League. If you are like a regular member to the channel, you will know all these drivers.
Brett, he crosses the line, only good enough for a 1 minute 35, puts him into P9 for the moment. So next to cross the finish line will be... No, into the pits he goes. It'll be the Dark Fox, still on a set of wets, and expect him to change into a set of softs pretty soon. It's still 20 minutes of qualifying remaining. As we spectate last year, Brett, but this will be no good. He definitely will go out for another flyer.
Yeah, and I'm currently sitting on board with the toy, but I don't see no sign of improvement to get him to that P1 position.
Currently spectating your Tier 2 champion leader, Brett, a True Loki, still on a set of wet tyres. And let's see what kind of times he can produce on a set of wets. Coming around the final corner, right around now, Brett takes a very wide line, but remember, Brett, obviously he is on those set of wet tyres, and he is good enough for a 1 minute 35.7, currently only good enough for P12. Next to cross the line, we have Hughes on a set of soft spread, puts himself into P6. He'll be followed by Humid, still on wets, but invalidation from him. And now we will go to Hector on his set of softs, but also invalidation.
Under 20 minutes remaining now, so we're starting to heat up. A few drivers have not set a time yet. They are Hector, Dented Stroll, Sparkplug, and Atozi, still with a time to set.
And Brett, of course, all drivers opting for the soft tyres this early into qualifying are obviously the way to go. You really need to make these soft tyres, the very first laps you get to go out on them, you need to make it stick because they only have that one set of soft tyres to their disposal. I mean, the more you invalidate, Brett, the more you burn out those tyres and the more difficult you make your life.
Definitely. Currently, I'm sort of switching between Krytos and the Dark Fox at the moment.
2 seconds, Brett. I think this is going to be a good lap from the toy, Brett, coming into the final straight now. It's a 1:27.28. Only good enough for P2, Brett, but ever so close to ItzzzJD. Currently sitting on provisional pole. So not bad from him.
Yeah, the toy consolidates at P2 at the moment.
Heli with an invalidation. Next to cross the line, we will have True Loki Brett, still on a set of wet tyres, and maybe the drivers just acquainting themselves with the track.
Currently on board with Hector, currently sitting in P15 at the moment, so this will be his first time on the board when he gets himself around.
And Brett, every lap Humid seems to be going around this track on a set of wets. He keeps improving.
Hector sets a 1:32.0, puts himself up to P10, so a decent lap for Hector there. P10 for him at the moment.
Giatosi Brett, one of the drivers without a time on the board yet. And Brett, as you can see, that a lot of drivers have adapted to this wet tyre on the first, basically, 15 minutes of qualifying. I don't think it's a bad strategy, Brett. I think, well, obviously you'll never get a competitive time on them, but just to acquaint your tyres, wait for the track to evolve a little bit, and then slap on those set of softs, and maybe go for that fastest lap right at the end.
Definitely.
2 seconds, Brett. We got Dark Fox having a little bit of a moment.
Oh.
Right, down the main straight goes Lassie Brett, and he is now demoted ItzzzJD to P2 as he's got a new fastest lap of a 1:27.2. So get in Lassie. Very good lap from him. So
very nice.
Well, but remember, Brett, of course, it will be reversed grids. So expect Lassie, if he can stay on this pole position spot, to see him start in P10.
All to play for. Definitely sort of, as I always say, a bit of a slow burner, but with these drivers now setting some competitive times, definitely heating up. And we do have yellow flags down to all sectors. And
Brett, Humid manages to improve his time again on a set of wets. Definitely entertaining.
Whew. On board with Atozi, this will be his first time on the board. Coming round now, he's also on a set of wet tyres.
Next to cross the finish line, Brett, will be True Loki. Yeah, but he's only running on those set of softs. Spectating John Hannes, I believe. Yes, it will be John Hannes. Invalidation on his outlap. Fun Feed and Brett, he's on a flyer and currently improving. He's 1/10,000th of a second improving on his time.
And with Atozi's got himself up to P14.
As we spectate Van Vieren Brett as he makes his way into the final corner roundabout now. Doesn't run too wide. Now he starts running a little bit wide. That'll hurt his time. 1:27, 28, 29. Only good enough for P6 still, Brett. Not improving his time. Next to cross the finish line.
Do I want to be on board with Sparkplug on their hot lap?
Sparkplug not being mentioned much throughout this quali so far, Brett. So maybe he's only opting to go out for the first time now.
That is true, Eben. He's only one of two drivers that have not set a time yet. Him and Dented Skull, and Dented still sitting in the pits. If we have
MGST Brett on his... this is only going to be an outlap. Giatosi, where is he, Brett? Also currently still running on those wet tyres. So my attention will now shift to, as you've stated, Sparkplug, because he is on a set of softs. And I do see purple sector 1, Brett.
Yeah, he's so far so good. If he can keep it together, let's see what time he can bring to this leaderboard.
Right, Brett, not attacking the apexes as confidently, has a little bit of wheel spin, no harm, no foul. So let's see where Sparkplug can basically position that car. Now attacking the apex corners. So right, Brett, that was not a purple sector 2, but let's see if he can get that car at least into the top 5.
Gonna find out now, and it's always definitely it definitely helps having the game myself to see, you know, to see what the drivers are seeing. Always nice to see a different perspective. Driver moving out of the way for Sparkblood.
As he takes a nice tight line, Brett, DRS wide open. That's a 1:27.4, and that's good enough for P2. So very good lap from Sparkplug.
Very nice first lap as well, and he gets himself to P2. Very nice. Dented, now the only one that's not set a time as it stands.
My attention now shifts to MGST, Brett. He will be the next driver to cross the line. Also now on a set of soft tyres. And so far, so good, Brett. Putting in very, very respectable time so far. Purple Sector 2, of course. And let's see where MGST can position that car. He's on a set of softs, so obviously he will be flying, Brett. Much more comfortable than being on a set of wet tyres.
Whew.
So as he now makes his way into the final corner, will he take a nice tidy line? You bet he does, Brett. Onto the main straight he goes. DRS wide open. That's good enough for a 1:27. Flat, and provisional pole goes to MGST, and so far maximum points will be going his way. But what will other drivers have to say about that? So a very good lap from MGST.
Yeah, and
well, last in chat, Brett, not happy about MGST. So, well, Brett, it's two things you can do. You can sit and complain about it, or you can get out on track and retake that provisional pole spot.
That's all you can do. Get behind the wheel, put your foot down, and see what you can do.
Right, Brett. Next to cross the line will be Sparkplug, only jumping into the pits. And now spectating Dark Fox, Brett, still on those set of wet tyres.
Yeah, I just had a quick look at the Dark Fox, currently sitting P11, but I'm sure he'll want to improve on that, and if he doesn't improve, he'll definitely be doing something in the race.
He will be next to cross the line, Brett.
I'm having a quick look through, and most sort of drivers either like on an outlap or
JD, Brett. JD is on a flyer. Let's see what JD is going to produce, Brett. Currently sitting in P4. Very good respect for qualifying from JD so far. Does he set up for a flyer just now? He improves his time, Brett. 1:27.5. And only 1/10 away from Sparkplug.
Very nice, and I'm currently now on board with Dented Stroll on their first hot lap of the evening. 11 minutes 40 remaining.
While you do that, Brett, I will be spectating Mr. M, currently sitting in P6. Let's see what kind of times he can produce. And Brett, nice to see these drivers taking a very nice, tidy line through the final corner. As he improves his time, it's a 1:29.8. But still only good enough for P6.
Whew.
So I will now join you and spectating. Where is Dented Skull, Brett? There he is. And what's the sector times looking at, Brett? Is this going to be a respectful lap? Already into the 1 minutes. So he's going to have to get a move on. Let's see, Brett. Is it purple sector 2? You bet it is. So this is looking good for Dent.
So far, so good. Let's see what time he can set. The only driver not to set a time as it stands.
Right, into the penultimate corner. Now the final quarter. Will he be able to take a nice tidy line, Brett? Yes, he runs a little bit wide, but no harm, no foul. Puts on the throttle, and that's good enough for a 1:27.5, and that puts him into P5, Brett. So currently, Dent 5/10 off your pole position setter.
Not a bad time. Whew, who's we go to now? Currently on board with Mr. M.
I'll be jumping to Kratos, Brett. Runs wide. That'll be no invalidation for him.
Mr. M now bringing it around.
Spectating Mr. M myself now, Brett, and he stays in P7, although he did improve on his lap, about 4/10 quicker around that lap, but only stays in P7.
Yeah, I mean, all you can do is improve and see where it puts you to. So, congratulations for the improvement, but not good enough to jump up a position.
So, Brett, we basically have 9.5 minutes remaining of qualifying, and now expect to see the likes of John Hunters, Giottosi, True Loki, Dark Fox, and Yuma jumping to those soft compound tires.
Oh yeah,
And
find out.
speaking about EMoller05, he is currently on a lap, is he? Or is he only going to go out for a flyer right now? So EMoller05 will set off for a new flyer right about now. And I'm going to be spectating this lap, Brett, to see what kind of sector times he can produce.
Yeah, I'm currently on board with Hector, and Sector 1 he did improve, so I'm going to stay on board with Hector and see what he can do. Coming around Sector 2 now.
So spectating EMoller05, Brett, as he flicks the car into a very, very quick right-hander. And let's see how quick he will be into the first sector. Of course, it is a purple Sector 1. And Brett, look at the transition from softs to, from wets to softs. He was 1.4 seconds faster only around the first sector.
It's mad. And just for reference, Hector is improving
a
on
little
his
bit
lap.
of a moment, a little bit of wheel spin, but keeps it very well under control. Right. This quick
Hector
left,
does
quick
improve.
right.
Hector now to P12.
Purple Sector 2, Brett again for EMoller05, and he's running 4 seconds faster on this lap. So look at the transition from wets to softs. That's a lot of pace he's carrying into this lap. And as it stands, Brett, he looks good enough for pole position. He looks very good for pole position as he comes around the final corner right about now. Onto the main straight. DRS will be activated. 1:25.26, and that is fastest lap so far. And he will take maximum points as things stand.
A very nice lap by EMoller05. He'll be very happy with that. Then Stroll currently sitting P3, not improving on that lap.
So Brett, now the Dark Fox also decided that he is starting his first flyer. And just as EMoller05 has done, he's 1 second quicker in the first sector.
Now I've switched my attention to Krytos, currently sitting P9. So Krytos coming around Sector 3. Can he improve?
While that is going on, Brett, I will be spectating the Dark Fox. Right. Very, very quick right. Very, very quick left-hander. These corners come at you very, very quickly. Very, very fast. He attacks the corners, attacks the apex now. And that is a purple Sector 2. It was briefly a purple Sector 2. Comes into a very tight right-hander, Brett. And now the hairpin of the penultimate corner. And can he keep a very tight line to finish off this lap? Where will he position at car of his?
Now switching to Utes, currently sitting P13. No improvement in Sector 1. Can he improve in Sector 2?
Right, 25, 26, 27. And Dark Fox puts his car into P3, Brett.
No improvement for Utes in Sector 2. Currently sitting in P14 now.
Right, we'll be making his way down the main straight in a moment. Let's spectate. Yeah, as you said, Yugs.
And lastly in chat, it's alright, you know what, I'm sure you'll get some redemption for yourself in the race. Don't worry about what you do in the qualifying. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, lad.
Right, Brett, so now I will be spectating Halley, Brett, as he has also now decided to jump to the soft compound tires. A lot of confidence in the car, really attacking the apex corners. Right, spectating Halley as he goes into the final sector.
And I'm spectating John Hand, currently sitting P16. What can he do?
2 seconds, Brett. Just going to see Halley rounding off this lap as he comes into the final corner right about now. He's currently running on a 1:20, 21, 22. Gets onto the throttle. Now it's looking good. It's looking quick. It's good enough for P5. So that demotes last year position down to P6.
And John Hand will be no improvement on this lap. I think he's just getting himself ready for a next lap.
Right, Brett, I am now spectating True Loki. He is your current Tier 2 Championship leader as he comes into the final corner. And what times can he put on the board? True Loki going down the main straight now. DRS will be activated. 25, 26. It's looking quick. It's looking fast. Good enough for P5. So that demos last even more position down into P7. So at the moment, it's sitting very pretty for MGST, sitting in P2, and True Loki finding himself in P5. So, and a good showing. Yeah,
with about 4 minutes remaining, it's definitely all to play for. Time is running out for these drivers. I'm obviously now on board with Larcy. getting ready for a flyer. Can Larcy improve on that P7? He'll be hoping he can. He stopped on track.
Larcy stopping on track, Brett, sorry. Just had a little bit of a cough there.
That's alright.
Oh, Larcy disqualified from the session for going the wrong way.
Oh yeah, he bloody reversed. I don't know what he was doing. God. Well, I'm sure we'll hear about that in the chat. He would not be happy. I'm sure he'll have something to say.
Definitely not happy about that, Brett. So we will now jump on board. I believe this will be you, Harry. No, jumping into the pits. Next is JD in validation. Next will be True Loki going for another one.
Yeah, I'm currently on board of True Loki. Will he dive into the pits?
Yeah, diving into the pits.
Yeah.
I didn't see an improvement going his way there, Brett. Now jumping to John Hannes, currently sitting in P16. Not a very competitive lap time from him yet, but he keeps invalidating. This would have been good enough for a 1 minute 1 minute 29 flat. And that only would have been good enough for P11, Brett, if it was not an invalidation. So John Hannes needs to up the pace. He's got 3 minutes remaining.
Since that now or never stage, it really is. Currently sitting in P1 humid, he's currently on an out lap. And MGS is on a hot lap. I do believe... No, he's not on a hot lap, sorry, my mistake. He's getting ready for a hot lap.
Getting ready for a hot lap. I'm also spectating MGST now, Brett. Oh, there's a little bit of a moment. This will really hurt his time down the main straight. And he will have to go for a cooldown lap once again, because that hurts him down the straight.
Now looking at the Dark Fox, they will be looking to set another time.
I'm spectating Humid for 2 seconds as he makes his way down the main straight now, and only 1:26.4, Brett, and a good lap from him, Brett. Currently taking maximum points.
Seems to be improving every time.
As the Dark Fox now starts a new flyer, so all attention will be on the Dark Fox. Spectating Kratos only on his out lap. John Hunter's going very, very slowly, and Mr. M has left the session.
Well, people always are leaving and coming back and leaving. That's the nature of the game, unfortunately.
Well,
I'm currently on board with the Dark Fox. The Dark Fox sector 1, he does improve by 0.2.
Spectating him with you, Brett. Right.
Larcy, do not worry. Like I said earlier, I'm sure you'll do something in the race that will have us talking for all the right reasons.
Brett, now, going into the final couple of corners to end off Sector 2. Quick left-hander, quick right-hander. Does he attack the apex? Yes, he does, Brett. Very good racing lines. And the Dark Fox is 1600ths of a second quicker on this current lap. Will not be good enough to knock Humid off of a pole position. But he's never validated. Invalidation from the Dark Fox.
Well, you won't be happy with that.
Well, Brett, I really hope you have your final couple of moments just to catch your breath and just to sit back and relax, because we are moments away from the sprint and things will be getting very, very heated.
Yes, they will. Most drivers currently sitting in the garage with 40 seconds remaining.
So they will definitely, Brett, not be able to go out for another lap. So for Dented Skull, Sparkplug, JD the Toy, Mr. M, Kid K, Hector, Van Vieren, Yugs, John Hannes and Giottosi, that is qualifying over. And Humid is currently improving his time, going around the chicanes now. Let's see. I will be spectating Humid, Brett, as he will be the next car to cross the finish line to set his final time. Right, will it be an improvement down into the second sector? Only that purple sector 2 will tell us that he is improving. What times will he produce, Brett? And no, currently running 400ths of a second up on his time, so no improvements thus far. So basically still even Stevens on his time. It'll all come down to the last couple of corners. Will Humid be able to extend this gap?
And I'm currently on board with Kratos, seeing what they can do.
Down the main straight he goes, Brett. That'll be a 1:26.4, a slight improvement of 7 thousandths of a second. and he extends his gap by 77 thousandths. The Dark Fox, what does he have to say, Brett? Still only good enough for P3. And only, Brett, how much? 600 of a second separates him and MGST from one another.
Wow. Right,
Heli now crosses the line. And look at this, Brett. Look at this. Heli puts his car into P2.
Wow, what a lap. That was definitely a surprising turn of events.
And I don't think this is something that Lassie would want to hear, Brett, but he's going to start in P18.
Well, he wasn't happy already. Now he's even more unhappy. So, Lassie, don't shoot the messenger.
And that, Brett, is qualifying over for everyone.
We are done and dusted.
And Brett, as always, qualifying is quite slow, but Brett, hats off to Halley. What a final lap he had to put his car into P2. But of course, Brett, he will drop to P8 because it is reversed grids. So expect Mr. M to be starting this race in pole position.
Well, it's all set up for a decent race, to be honest. Looking forward to it. Hungary, what do you have to offer?
I'll Brett, only time will tell. And as I told you, I'm really glad you had a couple of moments just to catch your breath, because next up will be the sprint and things will get heated up.
That is definitely the correct thing to say, and I will run us through the classifications when it shows on my screen.
That will happen in a moment or two to spare, Brett. And you know you just can't do it by yourself. You need to wait for me to tell you. Brett, run us through the order. And Brett, run us through the order.
Alright, here we go. Well, to be honest, Evan, it's not actually shown on mine yet. So, we're going to have to wait a minute. So, bear with chat, bear with everybody. Here we go then. We have Humid P1, and then from then downwards, Heli, MGS, the Dark Fox, Dented Skull, True Loki, Spark Plug, SJD. Ooh. Bear with. It's with my two. SJD, Detroit, Mr. M, Krytos, Kid K, Hector, Van Vuren, and I can't actually see any more.
You just have to press X, Brett, just to go into that final classifications. And then you can scroll down.
Yeah, sprint race, Hungary. To all the drivers, good luck.
Brett, really looking forward to this one. I mean, the sprint race will have a lot of excitement. Of course, this track is very difficult to make overtakes, so they will come down to the main straight, as we have seen in Tier 1.
Per please in chat says, is it a sprint and a race? Maybe I can join the main race.
It definitely is a sprint, and it definitely is a main race as well.
Good luck to all the drivers, all
so
of you.
Brett,
good
we
luck.
are into the final countdown right about now, and Brett, grab your inhaler, because as always, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get ready, Brett, because we will now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I hope you're ready for this, Brett, because we are sprint racing. Who got the better start? Oh, Mr. M was a little bit nappy, Brett, and look at JD, and look at Sparkplug, already wanting to make the jump. 3 cars going into the first corner.
Wow.
Who will be bold? Who will be brave? Oh, we have contact. Sparkplug's off. JD takes the lead of this race, and Brett, will we see more contact into the next couple of corners as we have drivers trying to fight for position?
Of course we will. It's all happening already, only on lap 1.
It's a 19-way battle, and look at the rear of JD, Brett. It's hunting season.
Oh, bring it on.
So, Brett, I will run you down the order as it stands. We have JD from the Toy, from True Loki from the Fox, from Dent from Humid, from MGST, Funfear, and Mr. M. Starting on pole, dropping to P9. Halley, Kratos, Sparkplug finds himself back into P12. Hector and Definite Duke having a moment. Giatosi dropping. John Hannes, Lassie, and Kid K running down the order, Brett. He needs to catch up to the pack. But JD already 8/10 of a lead.
Currently on board with a Tozy, so I'm spectating near the back of the grid. What can a Tozy do? Trying to get past. Lassie has got past John.
Halley and Mr. M, Brett, going at it. Mr. M needs an invite, Brett, so hang with me, chat. I'm just going to send Mr. M an invite quick.
It's a battle here, John, all over the back of Lassie. Lassie's hunting down a Tozy, and a Tozy's hunting down Yudes. This is a battle out here already, only on lap 1. Currently on now to lap 2, sorry.
Right, invite is sent, and as I'm back, Mr. M has to concede a position.
Pits. John and Kid K both pitting.
John Hannes and Kid K into the pits, Brett. Now, will they retire, or will they use a set of racing tyres? The question is, what will happen? As Kid K jumps into the pits, John Hannes jumps into the pits. A new set of race tyres is going onto those cars, as well as a new front wing. The same of John Hannes, so there was definitely contact, as we have more contact of Giatosi.
Oh, we have True Loki all over the back of the Dark Fox.
Forget about that, Brett. We have a battle for P1 as we go into the chicane corners right about now. JD still battling out for P1. Behind him, the Toy, the Dark Fox running in third, True Loki, and Humid hunting down True Loki. So this is sitting pretty for True Loki, Brett, because currently his rival in his championship is running in P8. So can True Loki keep this together? He should know that this fight is not with Humid. So don't do anything silly. Your championship is on the line as they go wheel to wheel into this tight right-hander, and he concedes the position. He knows it's not his fight with Humid.
Currently sitting down now. I'm currently sitting down in P14, spectating Sparkplug, and he's getting the jump.
Sparkplug, brave, bold, late on the brakes, a little bit of wheel contact with Hector, that was, as JD has a new fastest lap, followed by the Toy, followed by the Dark Fox, and Humid hunting them down now.
And definitely Jude got the jump on Hector. Hector losing a few positions here, he's not doing his way at the moment.
And Brett, as always, DRS has been activated. Now, the Toy needs to stay in DRS range from JD to keep a very quick the Dark Fox behind him. So the Dark Fox now right on the rear of the Toy. Oh, look at this, Brett! Oh, we have contact!
Oh no, here we go again then, it's all happening.
But Brett, it doesn't seem as that. Yes, the Dark Fox definitely has damage on his front wing. The left-hand side of his front wing, he's got damage. And we're only up into lap 3, but look at this, Brett. Even with damage, he gets the jump on the Toy. Remarkable stuff from the Fox.
Sparkplug trying to get Kratos. Is it a bit too close to comfort out here?
Right, Brett. So now Humid right on the rear of the Toy as well. The Toy struggling, Brett. Not taking the optimal racing lines as he should. And now he's keeping Humid behind him. Humid will be forced to take the long way around into the penultimate corner, but he does get the jump on him. So great stuff from Humid, and now he will be hunting down the Dark Fox, who has front wing damage. The left-hand side of his wing is damaged. Who's off? Kid K retires from this race.
DNF'd.
And
yes,
Brett, we have a virtual safety car. So drivers will have to slow down. We have a virtual safety car, Brett. No, Brett. Forget about that, Brett. We have a full safety car.
Here we do, and this will definitely help John, and who's right at the back, so the grid will now bunch up. Only lap 3 and a safety car already.
Yeah, but Brett, remember that John Hannes is using a set of racing tyres.
Well, to be fair, Adam, anything can happen. Race tyres, not race tyres, no tyres, I don't know.
So, Brett, we have 10 laps of racing remaining, and we have a full safety car. So down the order, Brett.
Happy.
So we now have going to your position changes. So Brett, JD jumping 2 positions, Dark Fox jumping 5, Humid jumping 7, Toy losing out 2 positions, True Loki at the moment where he started, Dented Skull where he started, Halley jumping 2 spots, MGST exactly where he started, Van Vieren, your man, jumping 5 spots, and Mr. M, the biggest loser so far, Brett, losing 9 positions, and not what he would want to see.
Really not. He's basically where he qualified to be quite fair, Mr. M.
So now, Brett, we will wait for everyone to catch up to the safety car. John Hannes makes his way out of the pits now, and now he slaps on a set of softs. So using more racing tyres.
Yeah, he's definitely going through all the tyres tonight, is John. I'm only in the sprint race. So now
and he will be allowed to pass the safety car, as that safety car is now waiting for its JD to catch up to its rear. And Brett, John Hannes needs to get a move on, and I believe we will have at least 1, maybe 2 more laps of a safety car.
Right, so I'm pretty sure I know the order of play, but Eben, you always spectate the restart from the front. I'm going to be spectating it from the back to get a different perspective.
Right, back to your tyre compounds.
He's getting a bit close to that safety car. Ooh.
So now, as we wait for the pack to catch up, it will be Lassie catching up to the safety car in P17, and we will wait for John Hannes a very long way away from the safety car. So Brett, yes, we will have at least 1 more lap of safety car after this lap as we wait for John Hannes to rejoin the pack. Now, Brett, all eyes will be on this battle for P2.
We're gonna see what happens. Lap 5 off 14. There's still 9 laps remaining. I'm gonna have a quick look at the chat while this race is under safety car regulations.
So Brett, Hubert, I think sitting pretty out in P3 because the Dark Fox, although he's in a league of his own and a very talented driver, Brett, he does have damage on the left-hand side of that front wing, and this is a track that requires a lot of downforce. So can the Dark Fox, with 9 laps of racing remaining, sorry, Brett, 9 laps of racing remaining, keep Humid behind him?
We're going to find out. We have the twin chat saying, I let Humid and the Fox pass. It is not my race, as I am tier 2. And then lastly saying, the toy, P1 for tier 2 now, question mark.
That is correct, the toy. That will be, no, that'll be P2 for tier 2 at the moment, as we have JD running in P1.
Right, currently spectating JD, just making his way around, following the safety car. Get a move on, he's thinking. Get a move on. He's getting very close to that safety car. Keep it steady.
So, Brett, as expected, we will have at least 1 more lap of safety car, Brett, as we are still waiting for John Hannes to catch up to the safety car. And maybe, Brett, we will have another lap of safety car, because he is quite a far way away from the safety car. As long as he can catch up to the back of that pack before we enter the 3rd sector, and I believe, Brett, we will have 1 more lap of safety car.
Yeah, John currently a bit of a way behind. Currently on board with John, so I'm going to stay near the back of the grid waiting for this restart. But the rest of the grid is all bunched up, so we are waiting for John.
We are
already in his race so far.
We are already into the 2nd sector, Brett, making our way into the chicane corners right about now, Brett. And we will have at least 1 more lap of safety car as we are almost entering the 3rd sector.
Oh yeah, so well, Eben and the chat, we have a bit of a moment to breathe at the moment. So Eben, any thoughts on the race so far? Anything that you'd like to say?
Well, Brett, if JD can keep composure, I think that he's got a very good chance to find himself on the top step of the podium. If not, at least get himself a podium in the sprint race. Because, well, so far, Brett, he got the jump, having a very, very good race, kept composure. He does know that he has a very quick Dark Fox and Humid behind him, but his main competitor will be the toy sitting in P4, followed by True Loki. And as things stand, Brett, MGST will be looking to go aggressive. He will be looking to push his way up the order, because his battle is with True Loki for the championship.
Yeah, I've not actually noticed it before. Maybe I should have noticed it. John is the only one on a set of soft tyres.
That's correct,
and now
Brett.
John has caught up. I'm currently spectating John. He has now caught up to the back of the grid.
So, of course, Brett, now we will only have one more lap of safety car remaining. And after this lap, Brett, we will have 6 laps of racing remaining. Right, so can JD keep a very quick Dark Fox behind him? Of course, Brett, that the Dark Fox does have front wing damage.
Let's see how this one pans out. Looking forward to this restart.
So if JD wants to win this race, he's going to have to make it count, Brett, especially into Sector 2 and Sector 3, where Dark Fox will be most vulnerable as we have a lot of tight corners. And he would be hoping that Dark Fox and Humid are battling it out for P2 to see him maybe sailing, maybe getting a 1.5, 2 second gap out in front. He will have 6 laps to defend for all his life.
I don't know what's happened. Hector's dropped back. Hector and John Hannah's exchanging places here at the back of the grid.
He is allowing John Hannes to get through right about now, Brett. So no harm and no foul. But no, Hector, yeah, they did swap positions. You're correct.
Yeah, they've swapped now about 2 or 3 times, to be quite fair.
Right, Brett. So as the safety car makes its way into the penultimate corner, we will be spectating the Dark Fox to see when JD will get us underway. And JD will need to slow down because that safety car needs to be in the pits before he can make the jump. Because that car will just automatically slow down if he doesn't. So now we are under racing, Brett. And yeah, well, JD got a good start, Brett. He's already 8 tenths up the road. And here we go. Wow. We have a train of cars, everybody going at it. And now we have Mr. M right on the rear of Van Vieren. He will look to sneak on the inside. And Mr. M will be forced to take the long way around.
And last, he's had a bit of a nightmare. He's dropped back to last.
Yellow flags, Brett. Who is that? Dentsoff. Dent having a moment with someone. Who might that have been with? And he is stuck. No, right, Brett. So he did retire, Brett. Reset your track, but that is okay because his car was stuck, of course. Right.
Yes.
Now, spectating JD, but I'm going to go to Sparkplug and Van Vieren, Brett. Van Vieren, we have seemed to have lost Van Vieren from the session.
I'm spectating John, this soft tyres. He's got us a P14 already, John. He's had a bit of a great restart here.
As you spectate that, Brett, I'm going to jump to the front to see if the Dark Fox can make the move on its JD. Lassie having a nightmare as he runs down in P18.
Not having a good time at all, Lassie. Not at all. But I'm still spectating with John, on board with John, flying around these corners, giving me some motion sickness. But
right, Brett. I think I'm going to join this video. Oh, Brett, he's brave. He's bold.
He's very big, John.
Gonna try and go around the outside there, Brett. Maybe
he's
not.
Trying.
These cars are defending for all their might. Now he sniffs around the inside, Brett. Very brave from him. Can he get the jump on Giottosi? Goes a long way around now. Now he's into the slip. And it's now or never, Brett. Who's got the best top line speed between John Hannes and Definite Duke? Will he sleep? Will he be brave and bold? And will he be late on the brakes? You know he will.
He's going for it. Yes,
there
he is.
There we go. Oh. He attacks the apex, and now he's going wheel to wheel. He's a nose in front. Now he's a car in front, and he gets P13. Very good move. But now I will be going to the Dark Fox.
Humid.
And
I'm with Humid.
I'm going to the Dark Fox, and I'm going to Humid.
I'm currently on board of Humid.
Oh, we have JD off! JD's having a moment! No, JD's off!
I see it! JD, yeah, I've seen it! JD's dropped, man! He's dropping!
JD making contact with True Loki now.
Oh, God, JD.
So now the toy will be taking maximum points for Tier 2 as it stands. And True Loki getting a free position on JD who had a moment. Was the moment a little bit too much for him?
It's just, at the moment, it's a familiar position out in front. The Dark Fox is sitting more. I wouldn't say he's sitting pretty, but he's out in front. And JD, I think he might have dragged him JD. He's had a bit of a nightmare. He's dropped right down to P5.
So now, Brett, spectating Humid and the Dark Fox. Of course, Brett, not taking away anything else from any of the drivers, but the Dark Fox and Humid are in a league of their own, and now this will be a battle for a potential sprint win. The Dark Fox will have 4 laps of racing remaining to keep Humid behind him, and DRS will be activated.
Well, talking of battles, leads me on to Dented, just got past Hector.
Well, Brett, if I had one wish, I would have wished for the Dark Fox to have a brand new front wing on that car of his just instantly, because I want to see this battle carry out.
Mr. M trying to hunt down Van Buren.
Brett, I'm currently spectating the Dark Fox with Humid at this moment. It's very interesting to see who will be taking the lead of this race. Can the Dark Fox be able to keep Humid behind him? MGST also right on the rear of ItzzzJD. He will want to make the move. Van Buren and Mr. M, as you stated, but Brett, Van Buren seems to be ghosted.
Right, and Larcy in chat not happy. I understand why, but unfortunately I can't do anything about it. That's the nature of Formula 1, is unpredictable. Larcy, carry on, lad, don't give in.
Brett, look at your man John Hannes. Right on the rear of Mr. M, but here we go. DRS, of course, is activated, and Humid is 3/10 behind the Dark Fox.
Yeah, I was watching that battle, but now I'm going to switch back to John. Whatever you're watching, Eben, I will watch something
well,
different.
Brett, 2 seconds, Brett. 2 seconds, Brett. Down the main straight we go. So Humid does have DRS. The Dark Fox tries to defend for all his might. So he will force Humid to take the long way around. Where Brett?
John!
Hard racing. 2 seconds, Brett. Hard racing between these two. Humid will have another helping of DRS into the slip. He goes off the Dark Fox. He will be forced to take the long way around again. No, he switches to the inside. We have hard racing, good racing, respect for racing, and the Dark Fox with wing damage still manages to keep his car ahead. But now Humid will get back at him, but Dark Fox has the inside line.
And now John has P10. Well, that's going on. John's at the P10. Then
Brett,
got past
this is great racing from the Dark Fox and Humid.
Sparkplug hunting down Heli, who's hunting down MGS, who's hunting down True Loki.
True Loki
JD
is dropping.
True
Loki is dropping. JD got past True Loki, and now MGST will be looking to make the move on his championship rival.
And Heli as well. Heli can set the opportunity for him to grab a position. But he needs to be aware of Sparkplug hunting him down.
Right, Brett, I'm going back to the two drivers battling it out for
Yellow
P1
flag,
once again.
Two.
That will be Larcy, Brett. Right, 2 seconds, Brett. Now we will go down the main straight. Humid will have DRS on the Dark Fox. Humid seems to have a slight better exit. DRS activated. Can the Dark Fox keep composure and keep Humid behind him? Humid is running out of straight, and the Dark Fox manages to keep him behind for another lap. Remarkable driving from the Dark Fox.
Oh, wow, I'm still on board with Sparkplug. He's trying to hunt down Heli. Little battle.
Yellow flags into sector 2, sector 3, and that will be Larcy again. So, Brett, we'll have 2 laps of racing remaining, and it's a battle for P1, and it's a battle for P5 for P4 as well.
It is a battle indeed. It really is.
True Loki with a 3-second time penalty, ruining it for himself, because that means MGST will get the position on him. He needs to keep his championship lead alive, but not with penalties. Right, Brett, more yellow flags. That will be Larcy.
Sparkplug! And Heli. Oh, for a bit of a time together, I'm being quite fair, but obviously my eyesight does let me down on occasions.
Right, Brett, now Humid is right on the rear of the Dark Fox. He is ever so close. He's currently running 2/10, 1/10 behind the Dark Fox. Right, it all comes. Oh, that makes the Dark Fox life a little bit easier, as Humid has a little bit of wheel spin. He's still 4/10 behind, Brett. We will now have 2 laps of racing remaining. The Dark Fox seems to have it covered off for this lap as well.
Oh, and he's had another moment, Larcy. I don't know whether he's had a moment or whether he's just sort of can't be bothered no more. But he's had a bit of a nightmare out there, Larcy.
Brett, you are missing out on a very, very good battle out in front.
I will switch back to that now. But yeah, I am watching Larcy, and he is literally just spinning around doing donuts.
Van Buren, 2 seconds, Brett. I just need to get invites out.
That's all right. That's all right. I will go back to the battle out in front for you. Human
All right,
is currently
all right.
hunting
I've
down
got
the
it.
dark fox. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Oh, here it goes. What's going to happen? The Dark Fox manages to keep him behind. We have yellow flags. That'll be Lassie again, being lapped now.
He is so close to Human, he can touch him, but he's
So
still
the
not close
two
enough.
closest battles on track will be Definite Duke on the Ghosted Car on Firen. And Brett, we will have 1 lap of racing remaining after this lap. It has been a battle for P1 between the Dark Fox and Humid. The Dark Fox with wing damage doing a remarkable job. More yellow flags that'll only be Lassie waiting for all drivers to pass. Right. How close is Humid from the Dark Fox now? Currently setting 3/4 tenths. He has a little bit of a moment again, Brett. That will hurt his exit. This will be it. Will he go from the inside and be late on the brakes? No, he isn't. So that means, Brett, into the last lap, the Dark Fox will still be in the lead.
And I'm currently on board. Actually, I was on board True Loki, but I'm going to switch to MGS, who's hunting down True Loki. So let's see it from that perspective.
So now, Brett, with a 3-second time penalty, it means that MGST is going to get the jump on True Loki. As now, JD backs out and allows the two championship rivals to battle it out. Humid and Dark Fox. What's going to happen? Keeping the composure, having a great race. And Brett, I think the Dark Fox cannot wait for the race to start so that he can have a brand new front wing on that car of his. True Loki not making the jump on MGST. That means MGST on track will finish ahead of True Loki.
Oh, and John's DNF'd.
And this championship between these two are not over yet. So MGST, this is going in his favor at the moment. Right, Brett, spectating the Dark Fox as he makes his way across the final corner right about now. He will see the checkered flag wave for him as a winner in the sprint, followed by Humid. And what a great battle it has been from these two in a league of their own, followed by Detroit taking P3 and maximum points for Tier 2. MGST gets a jump on True Loki, and he drops to its JD as well.
Whew.
Oh my goodness, Brett, what a sprint this has been.
Oh! Mr. M nearly getting the P10 on the final rundown, but he didn't quite make it.
What a sprint this has been. And Brett, this means that MGST will get more points in the sprint than True Loki. Will this hurt his championship? But Brett, he still has a race to rectify the mistakes he has made, and he will be looking not to make any more mistakes and not getting penalties.
Well, Evan, to be fair, all I can say was that was eventful.
Well, Brett, it's not over yet. We still have this. We still have the main race.
Well, yeah, we know that was the start before the mains, so bring it on.
Whew.
I don't know what's for dessert, but I'm happy for the mains at the moment.
As we wait for Lassie to cross the finish line, Brett, that means that this sprint is now finally over.
Whew. Wow. That was interesting.
Right, Brett, remember to press X as soon as you get into the classifications, and then you can scroll down.
Thank you, Evelyn. You know, amateur at work here, so please bear with me, everybody. Lassie, there's always time for redemption in the race, lad.
Right, Brett. Let me just take a quick picture of these classifications.
The drivers are celebrating, they're loving it. I hope they're not drinking that champagne, otherwise they will be done for drink driving. Whew. Mr. M has left the session again.
Right, Brett, and run us through the final classifications.
Dark Fox is P1. Then we have Humid, The Toy, MGS, ItzzzJD, True Loki, Heli, Sparkplug, Krytos, Atozi, Mr. M, Dentist Stroll, Definitely Jude, Van Buren, Hector, Ute, and John, and then Larcy, and Kid K did not finish. And I've done that just in time. Bring on the main race.
Well, Brett, as we have now a couple of moments just to recatch our breaths, we will be moments away from the main event as well as drivers hunting it down for P1 in the main race.
Bring it on, Evan. That's what I say. I'm looking forward to this one.
As we have now also entered the final countdown, Brett, we are moments away.
Well, if it's anything like the sprint race, then I always say I don't envy the drivers. As a commentator, I'm happy to commentate on such entertaining races.
Right, Brett. So as always, I will get us underway. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get ready because we will now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get ready for this, Brett, because we are racing, and we've got a front row of Humid and Heli, followed by MGST, who already got the jump on Heli. Bad start from him, and that is exactly what MGST would have wanted. Now brakes, whoa, way late on the brakes, and that will hurt him, as he now makes contact with Heli, I think, and Heli makes contact with Humid. Right, Brett, and where is True Loki, finding himself all the way down into P19, and Humid is off. Humid is off.
He's back in plumb last.
And Brett, this is Christmas for MGST in his championship hopes. He's sitting currently in P1.
Wow, yeah, we've had a bit of a nightmare at the back of the grid, but wow.
And a long way down from him is the Dark Fox, and even longer away from him is Humid, running in last as we have contact.
Oh my god, they've all hitting each other. I think we have a ghosted car in there as well, to be honest.
There are multiple drivers making contact, going into one another. Brett, what is going on as we have drivers battling for positions and not keeping it clean at all? The ghosted car of Mr. M as well as Definite Duke, making it extremely difficult for these drivers to catch the braking points.
Oh my god, they're all in. Yeah, these ghosted cars are really playing havoc with the real life drivers right here.
So the toy is hunting down JD, Brett, and now True Loki, Brett, keeping his nose clean, jumps all the way from plumb last into P10. So very good race start from him. No, he goes to the pits.
Oh, and even Humid was plumb last. Now he's up to 11th already. 10th.
The only driver opting for the medium compound tires will be the Dark Fox.
And the choice trying to hunt down JD.
So Brett, sitting very, very pretty out in front is, of course, MGST. He knows he's fighting for this championship with True Loki, currently dropping way down the order in plumb last position.
And definitely Jude all over the back of Mr. M, but Mr. M is ghosted.
Right, Brett, so the closest battle out on track will be the toy, really hunting down his JD. And Brett, let's not forget, JD obviously had a very good sprint race, running out in first place until he had a little bit of a moment.
Oh, God. Yeah, Larcy did a jump on Van Buren. Van Buren ran a bit wide there. Larcy out to P17. Trying to hunt down now Kid K.
Is the car of Hector also ghosted, Brett? It seems as though he is. So we have 3 cars in a row ghosted. John Hunter sitting in P10, the Dark Fox on medium sitting in P7, and Hubert, Brett, although he dropped, he's back into P9, so don't count him out of this race.
Oh.
And Brett, as all the drivers make their way into Sector 3, True Loki only making his way into the second sector now, so he's way down the order.
He is.
MGST with a new fastest lap at the moment. Dented Skull on the rear of the toy.
Larcy did a jump on Kid K. Now hunting down Hughes. Over a second is the gap. Kid K's dropping down.
And of course, Brett, DRS will be activated. But MGST currently under no threat as Halley is sitting 1.3 seconds away from him, and 1.1 second away from him will be Sparkplug. 1.6 from him, it's JD. And now it's a battle for P5 as we have the toy from Dented from the Dark Fox.
Definitely Jude hunting down Mr. M, but as we've already said, it is Ghosted Cars.
Ghosted Cars, Brett.
Humid hunting down Krytos. Oliver! Oh!
Yellow flags. Yellow flags. Who will that be, Brett? I think that is Lassie again having a nightmare of a race and a sprint. Can he get back? But Halley is now, Brett, gaining on MGST. Can he get into DRS range? Time will tell. Hector77 rejoins Brett, so he's back.
Very nice, and now currently on board with, from my perspective, John hunting down Krytos. Evan, don't know what you're watching, but I'm sure you will tell us.
Brett, I am spectating the battle for P4 as we have JD from the Toy, from Dented, from the Dark Fox, and only 4 seconds behind them, Humid. So this is a four-way battle for P4. And now JD will be vulnerable as DRS is activated, and this will help the Toy to get ever so close to him.
Definitely Jude trying to get past the Ghosted Car with Mr. M. That's the battle for P12. Tozy hunting down John, who's hunting down Krytos.
Oh, the Toy runs a little bit wide. Does it open up the door for Dented Skull? Does have a better exit. And right on his rear, the Dark Fox as well.
Definitely Jude does get the jump on Mr. M, the Ghosted Car Mr. M.
And Dented Skull, brave and bold around the outside, gets the position on the Toy, and it opens up the door for the Dark Fox as well. So now this will be a battle for P5 between the Dark Fox and Dented Skull. Dark Fox running a little bit wide, Dent forcing him to go the long way. Right. Going into the chicane corners in a moment. Halley is only 6 tenths away from your race leader.
And lastly, got the jump on, well, lastly out to P14, he got the jump on Van Buren and Hector. Lastly out to P13, passing these Ghosted Cars.
So on these medium compound tires, the Dark Fox is now currently hunting down Dented Skull. As we are almost going into the main straight with your race leader, and Halley will be in DRS attack mode. I will be spectating the Dark Fox and Dented Skull. And remember, Brett, that the Dark Fox, the only driver opting for the medium tires, expecting to be lightning quick at the end of this Grand Prix on a set of soft tires. So
yeah,
now, down the main straight we go, Brett. DRS wide open. Dent trying to break the toe, but the Dark Fox is gaining. He will switch to the outside, take the long way around. Who will be bravest on the brakes? It will be the Fox, but this battle is not over. But the Dark Fox sneaks around the outside of Dented Skull, pushes himself into P5, and now the Toy on the rear of Dented Skull.
And with all that going on, I'm currently sitting down P11 watching the Tozy, trying to hunt down John, who's trying to hunt down Krytos.
So Brett Sparkplug is joining in the potential battle for P1. It is NGST, followed by Halley, followed by Sparkplug. And 3 seconds down the road from them, it's JD. And 2 seconds down the road from him, 2.9, is the Dark Fox. It is all to play for.
It really is. Van Buren also hunting down Lassie, and Lassie's trying to close the gap to Giatosi.
So Brett, as this has been going out of DRS range is Halley now from MGST. So that means he will now be vulnerable from Sparkplug. And I am eager to see the battle of Humid on the Toy of Dented Skull now, because Humid, Brett, right on the rear of the Toy as he almost loses it. He keeps the car under control, has a better exit, also will have a helping of DRS, and Humid will push his car into P7. No, but the Toy's got DRS to defend with. So where will Humid go? He will sneak around the inside, late on the brakes. He's brave, he's bold, and he puts his car up into P7, and next up the road from him will be Dented Skull.
And Van Buren still hunting down Lassie. Lassie has closed the gap to Giatosi, but not close enough for any considerable overtake anytime soon. Giatosi still hunting down John. John, the gap to P9 is now increased a little bit, over a second.
And Brett, look at this. You have your two championship contenders running in P1 and in P18. So this is not what True Loki would have wanted.
It's really not, and Humid has a penalty.
Sparkplug right on the rear of Halley. So now, I wonder if MGS knows that his rival is sitting in plumb last position.
He must know. I mean, he's going to say he's not knowing, and obviously, you know, you got to race your own race, but he will know.
Well, Brett, if he's tuned into the stream, he definitely will know. And now we have Sparkplug and Halley will be going at it down the main straight. But Sparkplug had a little bit of a moment. He gets a very, very bad exit. And that sees Halley disappear out of the DRS range from him as for now. Kid K leaving the session.
And we have a Detroit hunting down Humid, who's hunting down Dented.
So, Brett, we are up into lap 7 as it stands. And Humid still right on the rear of Dented Skull. Now, can he make the move on the Dent around this next corner? No, he will opt to stay behind him as for now. Remember, Brett, of course, he does have a 3-second time penalty.
Whew.
Right, Brett, spectating this. Will he be brave? Very respectful driving, and Humid still managing to keep Humid behind him.
Yeah, that is the battle I'm currently watching as well.
Oh, Brett, you're not going to get an overtake there. But he's right on the rear, Brett. Look at him pushing the limits out of this car. Giottosi and John Hunter's going at it. As Giottosi, before the chicane corner, gets the jump on John Hunter. That's a good, very good move from him.
Yeah, John Hunter's looking to fight back though. Can he get the jump back on him? He will not give it up without a fight.
All eyes will now be on Humid and Dented Skull. Dented Skull will not fight this position because he allows Humid to get past him. But now Dented Skull will get a helping of DRS. Will this assist him? As Sparkplug jumps into the pit, Brett, he has enough of these softs as well as its JD. So that means track position goes to the Dark Fox. And where's Dented Skull? He also wants track position. Humid with another 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So now, Brett, all attention will go to Van Vieren. Will he be able to get the jump? No, he won't. So Sparkplug jumps to P7, 8. Will he concede a couple more positions, Sparkplug, as he makes his way out of the pits now? He rejoins this race in P10, Brett. And how much clear air does Sparkplug have? Sparkplug seems to have a good amount of clear air, Brett. And will he now get the undercut on Halley? That'll be the question. So when will Halley opt to go into the pits?
Gonna find out. Humid in the pits along with John.
Well, Brett, if MGST and Halley don't respond to this pit stop, Sparkplug might find himself in P1.
Well, it's a lap 8, Evan, and really, I'm not going to sort of press you or push you for a prediction because we can never do predictions, but it should be a very entertaining end to this race.
Brett, my prediction, if MGST and Halley does not pit on this lap, I think Sparkplug will take P1. So both of them go into the pits right now. So now I will jump to Sparkplug to see where he is. He's about to make his way into the third sector right about now. Into the pits does go Halley and MGST. Sparkplug into the third sector now. So where can Sparkplug come out? The Dark Fox opting for track position because he is on a set of mediums. So now MGST in the pits. Tires going on, and he now makes his way out. Halley, still in the pits, Brett, makes his way out. So where is Sparkplug? Brett,
I'm currently on board with Sparkplug.
I don't think he had a very good lap, Brett, because making their way out of the pits comfortably is MGST and Halley.
Yeah, they're both in front of him.
But here he comes, Brett, here he comes. Now Halley will be on cold tires.
Oh, yeah, he's right on the back of him.
Can Sparkplug get the move? Because Halley's still on a set of cold tires. Let's see, Brett, will he make the move? No, and now Halley has time to warm up those tires. So, good showing. They reacted. And Brett, if they had stayed out one more lap, Sparkplug definitely would have gotten the jump on them. But Sparkplug's not done. No, not attacking into this corner.
Oh, we can breathe it in for a minute. Gap out in front is 5.2. Dark Fox from Dented. None of them have pitted as of yet.
So, Brett,
Loki's last on new set of mediums.
Your top 4 drivers of Dark Fox, Dented Skull, and Kratos and Giottosi still has to make a pit stop.
Larsy's just pitted for a new set of mediums. Now currently hunting down John, who's hunting. Well, it's a bit of a battle. Larsy, John, Hector, you, all in this little battle.
Hector, Hughes and John ItzzzBrett, I'm spectating that with you, as Hector seems to have had a moment.
Yeah, Lassie and John both at the jump.
Right, Kratos and G. Atozi opting to jump into the pits now. So down the main straight will be JD Brett on a new set of mediums. Mr. M jumping into the pits. Definite Duke and the ghosted car of him and Mr. M jumping into the pits. The toy making his way down the main straight. He's is also on a set of new mediums. So back into P3 goes MGST. And remember, Brett, that the Dark Fox and Dent still needs to make a pit stop as Humid now puts a new fastest lap.
Yes, and currently on board from my end is Sparkplug all over the back of Heli. Whew. Definitely due. Well, a lot of drivers pitting here. Mr. M, Ute, Hector.
MGST has a 1.5 second advantage over Hallibrett, and if he can keep composure for 9 more laps, you will see him jump, and Brett, he will be taking the lead over the championship as things stands, because True Loki Brett frustratingly sitting down in P16 and he will not be happy.
He will not be happy at all. Still time to make it up, but time is running out.
Brett van Vieren back to all there, but it's Brett 3-second time penalty. Now, Dented Skull jumps into the pits, as he has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane now.
I'm going to switch back a minute. Go on, Evan, carry on.
So now, Brett, all eyes on Humid. He did opt to make the pit stop before Dented Skull, and I believe that he will be able to get the undercut on Dented Skull. So Dent, still needing to go into his pit box, goes into his pit box right about... No, he's making his way out. Sorry, my mistake. So Humid flying down the main straight, and Dented Skull making his way out of the pits now. So this will be tight. Will Humid have the pace? There's Dented Skull in the distance, and I thought Humid would have had... But Humid was stuck behind traffic, wasn't he, Brett?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I can't say for sure. I wasn't obviously on board with him. I'm currently on board with Lassie trying to hunt down John.
So, Brett, that means that the battle between Dent and Humid will now continue. Sparkplug still right on the rear of Halley. And the longer these two can battle, the more time it gives MGST to extend his lead over these two. The only driver that still has to make his pit stop is the Dark Fox, of course.
Well, yeah, Evan, I was just about to say, so why not sort of tell the lovely viewers your opinion? You are the expert. Dark Fox, when will he pit? He has a 20-second gap at the moment.
Right now, Brett.
Oh, he's pitting now.
Oh, Brett's got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pits.
This is not the first time he's done this.
So now, Brett, he makes his pit stop, a brand new set of softs being slapped on that car of his, and now MGST will make his way down the straight. So, of course, Brett, he's serving his 5-second penalty, is he? Yes, he did serve his 5-second time penalty, Brett. As now MGST makes his way down the main straight. Halley makes his way down the main straight. Sparkplug still going at it. And Dark Fox now rejoins this race in P4, Brett. But look out for the Dark Fox on a brand new set of softs. And he's only about 6 seconds away from the race leader. Is he? Yes, Brett, 6 seconds away from the race leader.
Definitely Jude all over the back of that ghosted Mr. M car. Larsie's still hunting down. Well, Larsie's dropped off a little bit now, but he's still trying to get John. John's still trying to get Atozi now, sorry.
And Brett, as Dark Fox went into the pits, we seem to have missed the overtake that Humid made on Dented Skull. So Humid pushes his car up into P7. Back to Sparkplug. Now remember, Brett, he had a couple of bad incidents and a bad races. Is this redemption day for Sparkplug? Currently sitting in P3. He has not put a single foot wrong as of yet in this main race. Will he be able to bring this car home and put himself on the podium? Time will tell. So far, remarkable stuff from the Sparkplug.
He's going to hope so. I mean, he's not really been mentioned a lot, and sometimes when you're not mentioned, that's when you have a really great race.
3-second time penalty!
Oh, there we go then. There we go. Why do we speed?
Oh, Brett, 3-second time penalty. Will that come back to haunt him?
It could well do. It could well do.
So the Dark Fox did not serve a 5-second penalty in the pits. Brett's still sitting with his 5-second time penalty.
Oh, and now Lassie is a little bit closer to John, but not close
Oh,
enough.
Brett, look at this. We have contact. Heli and Sparkplug going for the dive bomb. And that means Heli's off. Was that a little bit too aggressive from Sparkplug?
I just said
There will be questions. There will be queries regarding that one. And that means a free position for Human as he's now on the rear of Heli. Now, does Heli have damage on that car? It doesn't seem to have damage. But Human jumps into P5. And was that a little bit of a desperate attempt from Sparkplug? Very late on the brakes, making contact with Heli.
Wow. I mean, there'll be more questions than answers, that is for sure.
And Brett, just as we mentioned, the race he had, penalty and contact, will that be looked at? Time will tell.
Why do we say yellow flag set to 1?
Van Vieren retires from the session. Yellow flag, sector 1, 2, 3. We have a safety car.
Here we go then. Here we go.
Now, Brett, who will jump into the pits? Now, the Dark Fox doesn't have to, because he's on a brand new set of softs. So the question, MGST, no, I want track position. What does Sparkplug do? No. But the Dark Fox going in again, Brett? I did not anticipate this happening. So that means that JD will go through, Human will go through. No, Human also into the pits. Halley into the pits. Detroit opts for track position. Dented into the pits. Both Dented and Halley with a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lanes. Where is Kratos? Kratos, he opts for track position. So the Dark Fox now make his way out of the pits. And remember, Brett, good stuff because he served his time penalty just now. So out in front is MGST from Sparkplug, and guess who's back in the race? It will be True Loki. So if True Loki is smart, jump into the pits, slap on a set of softs, you have nothing to lose.
Well, you don't, but does he have any soft tires? Obviously, Larsie's stating in the chat that he has no soft tires left.
No, but
everyone on used softs.
He will get 2 free positions, Brett, and that's 3 positions closer to points in this race. He will need to do it, Brett, because his rival for this championship is sitting out in P1, and we will have 5 laps of racing remaining after this lap.
Whew. It's definitely all to play for. Heating up. And as I always do, I'm going to go near the back of the grid to anticipate this restart.
So Brett, your tier 2 champion contender racing with the T1 boys is sitting out in P1.
So far so good for him, Evan. But you know better than anybody, it's far from done.
Brett, we have seen it once, we have seen it again, and we have seen it once more, that incidents do happen on the last lap of races, especially where we are involved.
You've got that spot on.
And one thing that I'm going to stop doing is having anything good to say about drivers, because as soon as I open my mouth, Brett, we see nonsense happening.
Well, yeah, to be fair, Evan, I would just say sit there and carry on enjoying that lollipop. That's all you need to do. How
do you know I'm eating a lollipop?
I just know, Evan. I just know these things.
Well, Brett, whenever I phone you, you know I'm eating my lollies. So you know me better than myself, my friend.
I caught you by surprise there.
No, you definitely did. So, Brett, I believe that we will have at least one more lap of safety car. And I believe that this will suit MGST just fine. For the longer this safety car can stay out, the more laps tick by. The longer the safety car stays out, the longer DRS takes to be activated. Which means, Brett, I don't think we will have DRS until the very last lap of this race.
Boy, and by then it could be too little too late. The DRS could come too late for some of these drivers. Up to lap 15 now of 19.
I'm currently riding on board of MGST, Brett. And yes, we will only have one more lap of safety car as we wait for the rest of the pack. Drivers of Hughes, John Hannes, and Hector to rejoin the grid, catch up to the pack, and we will be under racing.
Yeah, and as Larcy has just wrote in the chat, I'm currently sitting on board with Larcy. He has a Dart Fox behind him for company and JD in front of him. So, Larcy, you are the meat between the JD and Dart Fox sandwich. Whew.
Riding on board with MGST, and Brett, this is looking very good for MGST at the moment, as things stand.
As things stand, it really does.
So, Brett, give me just a moment, my friend. So, currently, Brett, only 8 points separates MGST from True Loki. So this means, Brett, with the points that he got on the sprint, and if he can keep it together to get 25 points, Brett, he will make a massive jump on True Loki in the championship for Tier 2.
It will be a big swing in MGS's favour.
The only competition that basically, well, the Dark Fox very clear out in front in Tier 1 with 170 points, and in second place sits Humid, and his only rival, Brett, at the moment will be Winzard, and Winzard, of course, is not in this race. So that means that Humid will be able to extend the gap over Winzard, and because the Dark Fox is sitting ahead of Humid, he will extend the gap on Humid. So Brett, as we are waiting for the safety car to come in, because it will be in by the end of this lap, can MGST keep composure? Brett, we will have 3 more laps of racing. So DRS will only be activated on the last lap of this race. This is looking very pretty for MGST. But Brett, of course, it's not over till it's over.
It's not, and I'm going to be on board with the Dart Fox who has Larcy in front of him. So I'm going to be watching from a P8 perspective. And yes, Larcy, you are the meat
Brett,
in between the JD and Dart Fox
Brett,
sandwich. Evan,
2 seconds, Brett. Here we go. So MGSD takes us underway. Currently sitting 5/10 ahead of Sparkplug. Then we have the rest of the grid forming, Brett. Clean getaways for all. It's a battle for the last positions in this race. Sparkplug right on the rear of MGST.
Oh, the Dart Fox!
Fox is off!
It's off! He went down late in the inside and he went off.
That means Humans goes through and Larcy goes through. Oh! Who's made contact, Brett? That's Giottosi. Giottosi making contact with who was that?
Oh my god, I don't know.
As Giottosi... Look at this, Brett. We have drivers right on each other's rears and maybe a little bit impatient.
The Dart Fox seen the gap. He went down the inside and wow, that was not pretty.
Will he go around the outside? Yes, Brett. We'll see wheel-to-wheel action against the chicanes. Oh, Dart Fox backs out. True Loki, Brett. He's desperate. He's desperate for these positions. Going wheel-to-wheel with Kratos. He knows he needs to make up a lot of positions as his rival is sitting out in P1. Now back to... Oh, Hubert, look at that, Brett. Brave and bold. Sweet. Wow. Sells him the dummy, but JD's not done, but Hubert pushes himself up into P4. Sells him the dummy.
Outside again. Dart Fox is neck and neck with Larcy. He has the inside line.
Larcy backs out, Brett, and Dark Fox
jump on him.
Puts himself into P8.
True Loki at the P10.
True Loki into the points he goes, Brett. Well, Brett, as it stands, it's not good enough. He needs more positions. He needs to finish at least P5 for damage control.
He needs something, but from where he was when the safety car went in, 3 positions already, he will be sort of happy, but not entirely happy. Still time for him to do something.
John Hunter's, Brett, having a race that he would like to forget, only sitting down in P14. Oh, Brett, it's all to play for. True Loki 5 seconds down the road from Larcy, and he's pushing, Brett. He really is pushing.
He really is.
Can he get at least one more position in this race? But Brett, he's sitting with a 3-second time penalty. So as things stands, he will be out of the points. Dark Fox and Giatosi going at it. Human and the Toy going at it. This is no time to be trying to allow Tier 1 drivers to get past you, because you have podium positions, my friend. As now he switches to the inside. Will he be late on the brakes? We have wheel-to-wheel action. He backs out Human with another 3-second time penalty. The Toy has to concede, but the Toy now has the inside line, getting back at Human, respecting the space, and he puts himself into P3. We will have one more lap of racing, and DRS will only be activated now, but that means Sparkplug will not have DRS on the main straight. So Brett, for the last lap, no DRS as JD goes into the pits.
Oh my god.
Dark Fox gets a free position. Human and the Toy still battling it out as Human pushes himself into P3. And Brett, this means we will not have any DRS to help Sparkplug get the jump on MGST. So Brett, he only has 2 more sectors to go to see the checkered flag waving for him as a race winner and to be your championship leader down in Tier 2. True Loki fighting, but as things stand, Brett, look at John Hunters into the points.
Amazing. True Loki hunting him down, but he can't get it done.
Sparkplug 6 tenths behind MGST. He has 1 more sector, Brett, to keep composure. MGST looking pretty out in front, Brett. Don't make any mistakes. Keep composure. You will be leading the championship. Right, Brett, into the penultimate corner. Sparkplug only 7 tenths behind him as MGST makes his way 2 seconds, Brett, around the final corner of this race. He sees the checkered flag waving for him now as a race winner and leading the championship down in Tier 2, getting MGST, followed by Sparkplug. And the Toy gets P3 because Human has penalties.
And True Loki is still trying. He's went off. He's a bit wide. He's
True Loki, Brett, takes P9, but he gets demoted to P10, and he only gets 1 point. As we wait for Kratos and ItzzzJD to end this race, get in MGST, a race winner and your championship leader going in with only a couple of races remaining.
Wow, that the safety car definitely made that interesting at the end. I'll tell you one thing, when I'm watching the race myself, it definitely makes it go by faster. That is mad. True Loki leaves straight away.
Brett, spectacular racing from these drivers. Spectacular racing indeed from these drivers. As I will go to the results, Brett, just taking pictures of the final classifications.
Yeah, do what you need to do, lad. It's all right.
Brett, you can press X and it will take you automatically to the race classifications.
Right, let's read this shit out, shall we? MGS is a race winner in Hungary. Sparkplug and the Toy join him on the podium. Then we have the Dark Fox, Humid, Dented Stroll, John, Larcy, Giatosi, True Loki, Definitely Jude, Mr. M, Heli, Hector, Yudes, Krytos, ItzzzJD. They are your race finishers, and we have Van Vuren and Kid K did not finish the race. Hungary, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, Evan. Carry on. You might need to sort of say about driver of the day. Well,
Brett, today we will have the privilege of selecting 2 drivers of the day, Brett. 1 for Tier 1 and obviously 1 for Tier 2. And Brett, when looking at Humid, 2nd in the sprint race and 5th in the race, Brett, no wait, look at the Dark Fox. The Dark Fox winning the race in the sprint as well as P4. So, Brett, then what do you think driver of the day between Humid and the Dark Fox?
I mean, I don't admit, Human was quite sort of consistent. He had a bit of a moment as well, and he came back up.
But remember, Brett, there was time penalties for both drivers, so this is going to be a tricky one, Brett. Who do you think will take driver of the day for Tier 1?
Oh, you can't put that pressure on me, Evan.
Brett, that will be your decision, Brett. Who is your driver of the day for Tier 1 between the Fox and Humid?
I'm going to give it to Humid.
You're going to give it to Hubert, Brett?
Yes, I am.
100% Brett, so Hubert will be your driver of the day in Tier 1, and Brett, I'm not going to give it to anyone else. I'm very sad to do this to True Loki, Brett, but I'm going to give that one extra championship point to MGST for a remarkable race that he had, Brett. Kept composure, he kept Tier 1 drivers behind him, and that is an accomplishment in its own. So great stuff from MGST, your race winner with Tier 1 and Tier 2 drivers combined.
You've done very well, and obviously, well, not a special shout out, but last he said in chat that he's very sort of happy with his race. Last year, you done well. The sprint wasn't your race, but you definitely made some redemption in the main race.
Well, Brett, this was the end to a very eventful combined Tier 1 and Tier 2 race. And Brett, from always, it's a pleasure sharing this box with you. From my side, good luck, well done to all the drivers. Congratulations to MGST leading the Tier 2 championship with this race. And Brett, I will definitely talk to you soon. My love to you, my love to the community, and from me, I am out.
Well, it's been a pleasure. So, Eben, drivers, community, until the next time, take care, take it easy, look after yourselves.